Anthropic have just released a brand new update to the skills feature. It enables us to generate better, accurate skills and actually use them when we need them. First of all, what is a skill? Well, it's exactly like having a recipe that's able to complete a specific task when we need it to do so. For example, that could be to generate a website, run specific workflows, tasks, and processes, or just complete a one off output, such as writing a report based on some information. And a skill file is essentially just a simple text document called a markdown format, which contains the name and description of what we want that task to be, and of course the instructions that go with it. So for example, the fantastic front-end design skill, as you can see here, is contained within this markdown document with its name, description, and the license. Then everything under this is the instruction to help complete that specific task. So as we can see here, it's got lots and lots of details on how we're able to achieve the better looking outputs with our front-end designs. And then to help with getting those better outputs as well, we can also bundle extra resources, as you can see here, such as scripts, references, or assets, which help get that better predictable output from our Claude instance when we need to use the skills to get the outputs that we want every single time and reliably. And the reason it's really important to understand this structure is because now we know how and what is changing with the update. First of all, we've got two different types of skills. We've got capability uplift and encoded preference. The difference between the two is the capability uplift is the completion of one specific aspect within perhaps a process. So for example, we've got a front-end design skill which helps reduce the awful outputs that we typically get from AI when it comes to UI design, but when we evoke the skill, as we can see here, we're able to get much better outputs straight away. Whereas if we're going to use the encoded preference, what it actually is every step in the process, almost like we would have for an automated workflow. So it knows what step it needs to do, in what order, and the outputs that make it successful. Previously, we had to go through this entire document that we got from Anthropic around the fundamentals, the planning and design, as well as many other elements, for example, the testing and iteration, and of course the distribution and sharing, and all the other aspects that we need. Instead of having to read this entire document, Anthropic have gone through and included all of this best practice in the brand new skill creator. So it understands all of that detail about how to create a skill, how to enhance a skill, update a skill, understand when it should be used, when it shouldn't be used, and everything else in between. The new version of the skill creator, which basically helps us create the skills from scratch, is actually going to also run evals and evaluations, benchmarking against its performance with and without the tool, and of course keep our skills evolving to always improve the outputs. And one of the new enhanced features is the ability to, of course, evaluate and test how our skills are performing to improve them where we need them. And Anthropic demonstrated this by actually giving this example here with before and after, where they asked it to go through and fill in all of the different parts, as we can see here, with the information it required. But then once they put the skill in place, as we can see on the right hand side here, it was then able to go through and actually fill out all of that information correctly in the separate boxes that we needed it to. And it came with its own report as well, so we could see its performance with the skill and without the skill as well. The reason this is really important is because, of course, as the models improve, we may not always need the skill to actually go through and complete the task. What we can see here is the token usage was pretty similar throughout the different variants as they went through, but actually we saw that the pass rate was 100% with the skill versus 40% without the skill. So that's why having these skills can massively improve the quality of the outputs that you're able to achieve. And the skills are able to constantly improve, as we've just seen. We're able to go through, build the first version of our skill, then it's going to go and review the results, test it again with the evaluations to see how it performed, suggest any improvements, whether it be the description to help actually invoke it the first point, or the quality of the outputs that we saw. And as we showed beforehand with that formatter at the top with the description of that specific tool, we're now able to go through and improve that. So we're actually calling it as we need it. The blue lines and the green lines that you can see here is basically how Anthropic and Claude have now been able to optimize that description so that the skill that you want is actually being used at that specific point in time versus it using a completely random skill which wasn't the one that you were actually after. And the reason this is really important is because when we go back to the two different types of skills, the capability uplift, i.e. how good the model is at completing one specific task, may become completely defunct at some point in time. For example, if Claude Opus 5 is actually amazing at UI design or doing some data analysis, creating PDFs, completing a specific step in the process, then we don't really need this skill anymore. Whereas the end-to-end encoding preference is that entire workflow and process that we've got to complete a specific output. So that will never really likely change. It's just going to depend on how good the model can execute it end to end. And the reason enhancing this description is really important is because we want to use natural language as much as possible so that Anthropic and Claude and the different models we're using can identify which skill should be used and the output that we're trying to achieve, with the model figuring out the rest. So how do we actually generate our very own skill? Well, you want to come into your Claude Code instance, whether that be in the terminal of platforms like Cursor or within the desktop version. You want to do / and then plugins. You should see a brand new one if you come into search called skill and then creator, as we can see here. We're going to click on this one. We're going to say install for us so that we've always got access to it across all of the different instances we run. We're going to do / and then reload plugins just to make sure that it's all reactivated and ready to go. So now let's go through and generate a skill from scratch together. We're just going to activate the brand new voice mode so that we can actually talk to it nice and easily. / skill and then creator. We're going to press enter so it loads up the understanding of how to create those best skills. So there we go. It's now come back with a couple of quick questions. It's going to ask us, what do we want that skill to do? What's the output that we're trying to achieve, i.e. what does good look like? What is the input that we're typically going to give it? And are there any particular styles or framework that you would like to achieve? So in this use case, I'm going to go through and say, please can you go through and generate a brand new skill for me that is going to enable us to actually do personalized cold outreach. I'm going to be giving you the URL to our website. You are to go through and analyze it, see if you can identify the owner of that. We are going to be selling web services. We're going to create brand new amazing websites for them, which is going to be no cost to them for the demo. And we want to be in a concise cold email that we can send to them between 50 to 80 words. Then we're going to send this off, and that's how simple it is to get this process started. So think of the everyday tasks that you're doing where you want a really specific high quality output that's repeatable in the future. That's where the skills come into play. So it's come back with a couple of extra questions. Yes, we're going to set up a free demo for them to be able to review. If they're interested in the services and they respond, no extra charge. The sender information, you need to go through and extract any of the information you can for their specific website, or by looking around the sitemap and seeing if there's anything that you can find. Personalization, we basically need to highlight any issues with their current website, any SEO opportunities for improvement, and of course, we need to have that email saying what do we offer. Now with that enhanced information, it should go through and spin up the first version of our skill. We really want to give it as much information as possible as we go through this setup process so that of course we iterate through in the future versus it being quite broad to start off with. And I know we're doing this example use case around cold email outreach, but imagine if you could put someone's branding in there, company information, you had a unique offering that you'd be able to provide to them, and this would speed up the process of how you pitch it to them. Maybe you know they're a specific type of personality. It will really help with that conversion rate from day one. And there we go, we've got the first version that came back. So what we're able to do is on the left-hand side here, we can drop down this tab here. We'll now be able to see the skill. .md file. And if we just open this up, we can now see all of the information for that skill. As we mentioned beforehand, we've got the name for that specific skill, and then we've got the description. The reason these two are really important is because we want the description to be updated by our Anthropic and Claude account so that it invokes it and uses it when we really want to. It's then got all of the information in here about how it's going to complete that specific process. And if we want to test it out, what we should now be able to do is come down the bottom. Please can you use the cold outreach skill for this specific barber's website that we found in London, how we can improve it, how they can increase their sales by having a great presence online. We're now going to come across to Google Maps, and then I've just a random Google search in London, and I found this example here. And if we just open up their website, it's got something that we could definitely improve upon because it's not got that many details in there at the moment. So if we wanted to, what we'll be able to do is just copy the URL for this specific website. We'll then come back across and paste in there. Now it's going to use that specific skill to, of course, generate that first email outreach that we'll be able to use for that specific client. And there we go. We've now got a quick personalized email that we'd be able to send to Richard, who it found through this analysis. It's got a story about Prince William. It saw that there was an error on their specific website. And again, this is just an example that by no means is the best cold email outreach. But as you can see there, it's able to find all of this information for us, and that took a couple of seconds. And if we come back across to the website, what we should able to see in here, if we just come through and actually find it, if we do a command F for Richard, as we can see there, Prince William arrived at our shop with found interview Richard Marshall, battling the crowds of London. So as you can see there, it was able to go through and correctly identify that specific person. Of course, we need the email address and everything else, but it just shows you the power of just getting a simple skill like this set up. And this would have saved us probably about 15 minutes of work to find all this information, personalize the emails, versus having to go through and do everything from scratch. So imagine you're about to go and meet a new potential client. You could drop this in beforehand, get it to analyze all of the information about their business, give it back to you. If you want to generate a report every single day on maybe your marketing team's performance, that's where the skills come into play, and much, much more. If you want to deep dive into skills, check out my other video on the channel that covers this in much more depth. And we've got lots of skills already across in the community, which is the first link in the description, if you're interested in getting them set up straight away. So say that we wanted to improve this skill, again, just for the outputs. Please can you go through and update the skill to make sure that we never have any hyphens in the output. That instantly gives it away that it's AI. We also want to make sure that we have 3 variations where we've got the initial email, the follow-up email, and then a third closer email as well. So we always have 3 points coming through. Please can you also generate a UI design prompt that we will be able to give to Claude that will be able to generate the UI design, the website, the minute that we needed to get that set up. So we'll send this off, and if we come back across and just scroll up, we can see all of the extra elements that it was able to include in here for the UI design prompt if we wanted to use that. We've also got the third closer email there, the follow-up email that we asked for it to have, and that first email without any dashes or hyphens like we had initially. So it's made all of those changes that we wanted incredibly quickly straight away. And that is the power of skills. Make sure to comment down below what you'd love to see with Claude and skills. Come across to the community if you want to learn more about AI and automation. Stay tuned for more, and have a great day.